Hi everyone, in this video we're going to look at how we can use the new Infill and Outfill model from Flux and see how we can apply that into architecture example and visualization, so how we can add trees or add people or even like update some part of the image. The first things we're going to do is we're going to open ComfyUI. So I've been fortunate actually to be in the beta user, whatever you call it, that we're able to download the brand new ComfyUI, so desktop version, and overall the experience is much better. So I install, as you can see, I install a couple of like insight as well at the top, so I know what is happening in terms of computing powers. And I found the interface really good with like new workflow. You have all your queue with your images. Here you get all your libraries and model that you use. So it just makes everything quite clear. Here's your libraries, all the models that you installed. And that's also some of the workflow you used previously. So I found it just overall really nice like setup. And then you have this little queue, and then you have here the batch count. So it's all like looking very good. You get a manager here at the top, where you get everything sort of looking quite nice. So, but anyway, in this workflow, we're going to look at Inpaint and Outpaint. So what I've done is I just prepare a quick workflow here for you. So basically what I've done, a very simple workflow. What I've done is at the top here I got a lot diffusion model, and I just download the dev one here, and actually gonna look at so the fill dev is the one that sort of help with outfill and infill, so you need to download this one. Usually I use one of the devs. So as you see, I also have the new canny and the new depth one. I'm still experimenting with them. I found canny and depths work really well, but individually, when you combine them together for architecture purposes, I just find it's just not quite there, like compared to the workflow I shared with you before in the previous video. I found just not quite there. I've been playing with the settings and things like that, but just yet I'm not sort of confident on the output. So anyway, in this video we're going to look at the Flux field dev. Then here I have my clips, so clip L, and then also the 16 one here. And then here in the prompt I have tree in Paris in summer, so I wanted to mention the time of the day. The guidance is quite high in those models, so I'll have a guidance of 30, which is quite a lot, and the guidance is after my prompt. Negative prompt, there's nothing for the negative prompt. The load model, the load VAE is the A and E sensor, so pretty classic. And then we have here at the bottom I have my Inpaint image. So again, load image is the component you can click on it, and then you can just select and load your image. What I usually do is I go to my folder of the outputs, and then I load an image. Now what I've done here is when you load your image, you can right click on it and you can hit open in mask editor. So open in mask editor allows you to actually draw things on your image. It creates a mask. One of the things that I noticed, and I'm not too sure why, to be perfectly honest with you, but one of the things that I notice is I need to set it works better if I set my mask layer to white. And again, I'm not 100% sure why. And it doesn't change here on this one, so it just remains the same. And I also have the outpainting here that I will talk about it later. And then what I have here is I connect my image. So here I got a any switch. So the any switch just allows me to go from inpainting to outpainting without having to copy, paste, and create a new workflow. So this sort of allows me to swap from different workflow. And then what I have is I have the Inpaint crop. So Inpaint crop and switch, they are in the you need to download that model here, and it's called Inpaint Crop and Switch. So you might need to go to the manager and then download a custom node. I think this one is, if you type Inpaint here, let me see the one I installed. It's this one here, Inpaint UI, ComfyUI, Inpaint Crop and Switch. Yeah, and then as soon as you have this happen, so here's some of the settings I have. That's the extent, so how much you want the pixel to actually blur into your image. So you can increase that if you feel like it's too constrained to that specific area. And then one things to keep in mind, by default this one comes out at 16. That's what I noticed, so just make sure it goes up to 32. And another things you need to be aware of when you work with Flux is force size the resolution, and then add sort of a width and a height of 1024, which is basically the resolution that Flux is trained on. So I think it will get better results because it will sort of capture that area and just sort of get as much result as possible. So as soon as you have your prompt, you have the settings sort of right, then you just plug your switch. So the cropped image goes into pixel, and the crop mask goes into mask, and then here you have an Inpaint model conditioner. So if I go Inpaint model conditioning, it's this component here. So again, you can find it fairly easy. And then I have my KSampler. So after I have my model here, I plug my model to my to a differential diffusion, and I plug my differential diffusion into my KSampler here model, and then my Inpaint model conditioning goes, the positive goes here, the negative goes there, and then the Latin goes into the Latin. Steps, I have 20 steps here. You can increase it. 20 is really the minimum I use, but you can increase that. And then CFG, I keep it as 1. Euler is the sample I use. Usually I found Euler and the schedule normal are the best for Flux. That's from my experience. I've done a couple of tests. There are other ones you can use, but while using Euler, I found it just like I had the most success really. And then you plug your Latin into your VIE decoder, and then your VIE here is your VIE here. So you plug those ones into there, and then here you have the Inpaint switch. So you just go to back to your Inpaint crop switch. You plug it in to your switch here, and then you just plug your Inpaint here. Here you can keep it as bislerbs. You can try a couple of like different options. This one was like came up actually quite nice, so really happy with the results. And you press Q. Let's see how it looks like. For this one here with the tree, so see like basically what happened here is I just had my original image and I just wanted to add a tree in this area. Here I had a bit of a mask here on the photo, on the image, and I think that was quite successful. So here that's my mask here. So again I just put the right sort of amount of mask here to add a tree, and then here in my script I just say green tree in the street of Paris in summer, and here we can see that works quite well. One thing that I noticed is I had to bump a bit the CFG, so I think it's a bit of try and error. If you know more about it and wants to leave a comment below in the video, that would be fantastic, because I'm not too sure what's happening here with the CFG, but I had to bump it up to get better results in terms of trees. But somehow like the area that I mask will change. So you can see here originally the image looks like this, and you can see that it sort of copies some of those windows here in this area, which is a bit frustrating. So here just sort of changed the design around the mask. And I think that's due to the fact that my CFG is quite high here. So that's it for inpainting. I think it's just about playing a bit with it. And then you can do the same for people. There we go. So you can see the trees there, but it's not that great because of the CFG. And then it changed the design. When I put it like back to what it was around 1. It was just sometimes working, and it tended to not change too much about this area here, but then the tree appear, disappear. It's not quite consistent. So but again, I think it's about experimenting a bit with it and see what works for you. So this is sort of there we go. So here we can see it's a bit closer to what it was there, but again, it changed around the area here. Okay, so when we're happy with the inpainting we've done here, we can move on to the outpainting, which is a quite interesting feature that also came with the Flux model, Flux VL. So if we go here, right click on this and then bypass this one, and then I can click on this one and right click and then bypass it here to turn them on. And so basically what happened is my any switch, it's gonna check if there's anything in the number 1, if there's anything in the number 1 for the mask, and if there's nothing, if you bypass it, then it will take the number 2. So here automatically will run through the second part of the outpainting. And then for the outpainting, you can just choose another image, or you can choose this one. I may just run through. There's a couple of iterations here. Those ones are quite old. There are a couple of ones. Maybe we're going to select something a bit different. What if we go with... I really like those ones. I haven't published and done any video about those ones, but I really like some of them. Not this one actually. So go with this one. So what we're gonna do with this one is we're just gonna outpainting it. Okay, so we're just gonna here expand it. So here you can choose between the factor. So you can choose factor, or you can choose how many pixels you want. What we're gonna do here is we're just gonna extend it by 1.2. So let's have a look at how it looks like. Find my queue. Not too sure where my queue is. If you can't see your queue, you can just go here and then queue selected node. Okay, that's it. So you extend it quite nicely actually. That's the original image. And then here my prompt was saying add Osmanian building. So that's why I add some building. So here I change it to plaza and tree in the background. So let's see what it does now. And there we go. Here we go. We have, instead of the Osmanian building, we have the trees in the plaza. So it basically extend whatever my image here was doing, and it nicely extend it and give it more space. So that's really nice when you work out with different formats, but you want to keep the same image. Yeah, that's it for today. So the idea in this video was really to have a look at how we could use inpainting to add trees, people eventually on your rendering. It could be AI generated image, or it could be like something you worked out in Twinmotion or Unreal or your favorite rendering software, and you want to enhance some part of the image. You could use inpainting for that purpose. You can also use it to enhance like those 3D people and just get something out of it. So there's a lot to unpack from that infill. What was quite interesting was to see that new model coming up with this infill and outfill as well, where you could also extend the image format, change the format of your image. So that's very helpful for social media as well, and also presentation. Sometimes you wish you had a bit of more sky onto your image, or like a bit wider context. So all that could help with that extended. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, just like it, comment. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know what you want to know and see in the next video. And until then, see you later. Ciao.